job very easy. I think you said it very eloquently, so everyone gets it. Everyone gets what we're doing here. Hello, and thank you for joining us at the Newlab Pilot Showcase. If you're not familiar with Newlab, we're a venture platform focused on supporting and growing startups in industries that are really central to our sustainable future. So our platform takes a place-based approach to driving growth and velocity of deep tech startups, and as well as regional economic development. To do this, we bring together infrastructure, investment capital, and importantly, industry partners. And so what does that mean for you? Why are you sitting here today? Think of Newlab as a strategic partner, a bridge between the world-class innovation and tech development that's happening here and outside enterprises, government leaders, and investors seeking to accelerate their own sustainability agendas and, frankly, their businesses, especially because we know that the two are ever more deeply intertwined. And Newlab acts as a convener, thanks to you, and we create the conditions for unprecedented collaboration to happen. We bring together the right people, and we iterate on solutions. We get concepts from the lab, Newlab, out into the real world. And let's be honest, at this point in the game, it can be pretty easy for people to find startups, right? There's lots of tools and platforms and ways for you to find interesting companies. You can look at lots of pitch decks, but it can be much harder to actually imagine how you're gonna collaborate with that company. How does that startup's offering actually apply to the context of your business? How are you gonna actually get the opportunity to evaluate that team in action? And what about defining a pilot? And good luck. If you're actually successful with that pilot, what happens next? Really, all too often, we see in our work that these different collaborations die on the vine because the businesses and the partners who are brought to the table, they just don't have the mechanisms to actually effectively work together. So our mission is really to overcome these common pitfalls and enable you to partner more effectively with startups to realize those climate gains and those real advantages for your business. So our message for you today and beyond is pretty simple. Don't just review more pitch decks. You're welcome to look at pitch decks, but do something else too. Work with us. Let us help you to define a strategy that helps to bridge that gap between where we are in the present and the future that we're really trying to get to. And join us in working shoulder to shoulder with startups to define use cases, deploy tech, and really get the chance to analyze real data and learnings in order to figure out what comes next and then really be empowered and enabled to take that next step. So today is all about introducing you to several startups from our community. They're representative of our much larger network of startups, but we're particularly jazzed about these companies. We really believe their technologies are novel. They're working on things that are urgent and are much needed. So we're really excited to kind of pull back the curtain and let you get a closer look at these companies and the work that we've been doing together. We also think these companies provide kind of a nice tie back to our core focus areas of energy, materials, and mobility. We really do believe that these solutions and approaches that these companies are taking are critical to decarbonize our economy. So one last thing I'll leave you with. Everyone in this room has a role to play. Believe it or not, 1,300 people wanted to be in your seat today. 1,300 people wanted to be with us today. Hopefully many of them are joining on the live stream. But for those of you in the room with us, we chose you to be here because we do believe that there's really work that we can do together. So enjoy the day, listen to these amazing presentations, meet each other, get curious. Please connect with the Newlab team. We would really love to start a conversation, learn more about you, and see if there are different ways that we can serve as that convener and help to connect the dots and do something impactful together. So now I'm going to bring up to the stage our next speaker. We're really thrilled and honored to have with us Marisa Lago, the Undersecretary of Commerce for International Trade.
Thank you, Shana. There are so many reasons that I am excited to be here today, and it starts with the fact that I am a proud native of Brooklyn. I grew up on the South Brooklyn waterfront, a short distance from here, in the 1950s when it was still an active working waterfront, and my grandfather was a cook on a tugboat operating out of the Brooklyn Harbor. We can then fast forward to the 70s when, don't let it leave this room, as a teenager, I knew where the holes were in the fence around the Navy Yard, and we used to sneak into the yard, largely abandoned, and just loved roaming around Admiral's Row and going down to the dry docks. Fast forward a little bit more, I worked for New York State, and I headed economic development, and my team was responsible for taking the then abandoned Brooklyn piers and turning them into Brooklyn Bridge Park, which has turned into not just a city treasure, but a major international tourist destination. And then most recently, in 2021, right before my current role, I was the chair of the New York City Planning Commission, and we did a massive rezoning of the Navy Yard so that it can grow for the next 50 years without needing to get discretionary approval. So just setting the stage for the future of this gem. And one final personal admission, I love being in this crowd because in the 1970s, I got my BS in physics from Cooper Union. I was a STEM girl before they'd even invented the term STEM. But the main reason I'm glad, so those are my Brooklyn bona fides. But the main reason I'm here is because of you, the startups that are here. You are the lifeblood of the economy, not just of the city, not just of the nation, but of the globe. I'm also pleased, having had a career in financial services, to see the investors who are here. You are part of driving, of nurturing the groundbreaking solutions that are made here at the Navy Yard every day. So I'm here to tell you about an agency that I have the privilege of leading. It is part of the Department of Commerce, and it's called the International Trade Administration, or ITA for short. And our goal is to promote inclusive economic growth, specifically through international trade. My team spans over 2,300 trade and business experts. But the best part is that only a small number of them are located in Washington, D.C. We have folks in over 80 global locations, and they are paired up with trade and business experts in over 100 locations within the U.S., including in Harlem, in downtown Manhattan, just a short ferry ride away from here, but also in Long Island, Westchester, Rochester, and Buffalo. At the Commerce Department, we have the Bureau of Economic Analysis, so we really love statistics. And to give you a sense of the scope, every single day, around $85 billion worth of goods and services are traded across the globe. That $85 billion is about 80% of Brooklyn's entire annual economy, and that's moving around the globe every day. And it ranges from the smartphones that we're addicted to, the groceries that we buy. Trade sustains how billions of people live and make their living. And every May, we celebrate World Trade Month. But boosting trade isn't just the flow of products. It really is about driving innovation. And at ITA, we are proud to promote the most cutting-edge U.S. technologies, and in particular, in tackling the climate change challenges. Now, those of you who are here with startups that may be a few months or even a few years old, you're probably thinking, why are you talking to me about international trade? Isn't that just for the big multinational corporations? But the reality is that at ITA, 85% of our clients are micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. So we serve from the smallest businesses to the largest businesses. And so I hope that you'll leave here with a sense that your innovative technology has the potential to expand to international markets and to help other countries around the globe meet their climate commitments. So no matter the size of your business, our team at ITA has resources to help you. So what is it that we do when we work with a business like yours? we identify and screen potential international buyers or partners that we believe would be a good match for your business. We help you understand the incredibly complex international regulations and how to comply with them and not run afoul of another country's requirements. We provide extensive industry-specific data and analysis that help you make business decisions, such as identifying what are the latest international trends, what are the top export markets for specific sectors, be it clean energy, transportation, advanced manufacturing. We also lead trade missions in which we take U.S. businesses, and again, a special emphasis on micro, small, and medium-sized businesses, and we bring them abroad and connect them with potential distributors and partners. We set up tailored meetings, both with foreign government officials and foreign executives. I sometimes joke that I run one of the world's largest business-to-business speed dating service. And finally, we curate targeted networking opportunities with influential local chambers of commerce's, industry associations, and business councils where we can plant the seeds for new international deals. Now, on the climate crisis in particular, we have been laser focused on promoting climate and clean energy solutions across the globe. It is such a point of pride to be able to advocate with foreign government officials who have a procurement pending and to advocate on behalf of U.S. companies that can help our foreign partners meet their energy goals. Now, I'll give you a recent example. Recently, I traveled to Brussels, and it was for the International Atomic Energy Agency's first ever nuclear energy summit. And when we talk about clean energy, of course, we think about solar, wind, hydrogen, ammonia. But in fact, here in the US, half of our country's carbon-free electricity is generated from civil nuclear energy. And so I used this conference, which brought together heads of state from 40 countries around the globe, to meet with my foreign government counterparts from Sweden to the United Arab Emirates to Korea, advocating for U.S. companies that offer top-notch civil nuclear energy solutions that drastically can cut carbon emissions. Another example, just last December, I led the largest ever ITA delegation to Dubai for the United Nations Annual Climate Conference, COP28 to those in the know. And there we emphasized that U.S. companies are absolutely part of the solution to the globe's energy transitions. I want to mention another part of the Department of Commerce, which is the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. It's a sister agency, and they are another part of why the U.S. is admired as an innovation technology, because we know that in order to foster innovation, one has to protect the innovation economy, one has to protect the intellectual property. The Patent and Trademark Office is comprised of over 10,000 engineers, scientists, and lawyers. And again, they have very specific efforts to reach out to micro, small, and medium enterprises. The final thing that I should mention is dollars, since we know that there is a focus on investment here. With the Inflation Reduction Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and the CHIPS and Science Act, these are three monumental pieces of legislation that are investing over $1 trillion in U.S. industries and the technologies of the future. As part of this funding, the Commerce Department has designated 31 different tech hubs across the U.S., including 2 in New York State, and they span from Binghamton to Syracuse. Later this year, a subset of these tech hubs are going to be selected in a very competitive process to receive regional grants ranging from $40 to $70 million each. So there's some scale there. And as a proud Brooklynite, I am so pleased to see that the federal government is looking through the Tech Hubs program to emulate exactly what is going on here at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. I'll close by making an ask of you. It is so clear that government alone doesn't nearly have all of the solutions. It's the ingenuity of the private sector, including folks here in this room. And so please keep innovating, keep pushing the boundaries, keep doing the crazy stuff that was mentioned in the video. And as you are planning the growth of your business, think about exporting internationally, because we'd love to partner with you. Thank you.